Hey guys, Adam here, Carstio72. Going to do a bit of a longer video on my new Golf R or lighting package facelift 7.5 replica headlights I just did on my sport wagon. So going to be kind of a longer one with some detail, but hey man, don't forget, like and subscribe. I mean, God, I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers. I'm getting close. So help me out, get me that 25 cents a month, whatever it's called, from partnership with YouTube. And hope you guys like the video and hope this helps some people out, because oftentimes I find that the information was kind of lacking on the details on these lights. So hopefully I've taken care of that. All right, peace. Okay, so this is the deAuto LED HID kit. It's the D2H, I believe is what these are, the style bulb that will fit these Vland housings. So you get this ballast bit here that this all plugs into. And then these are actually what plugs into the headlight housing, which I'll show you. And then these three plug into 1, 2, 3, these. The challenge here is this rubber piece, which would be good if your housings needed this to come out the back and be external, but for the internal, like these Vlands where all this sits inside, I'm going to remove these. They make it a pain in the ass. So, I just cut them with scissors and removed them. I've already installed one to test it, so that worked. So remove this. All this will go inside. You'll feed the wires through a channel, hook them up inside. That's it. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but anyway, I think I've got a way to do it. Okay, so now with that rubber piece removed, it makes a little more sense. The bulb hooks into this thingy, to the ballast, to this thingy, and then those are those wires I freed up. This is actually what plugs into the light, but it's quite a bit, as you can see, to do these HIDs. But all this does fit inside, and I think removing that rubber just makes this much simpler, because these wires here are could really be about 6 inches longer, and your life would be easier. But it's what it is. These are, like I said, these are pretty nice bulbs. I've had good luck with the deAuto stuff. I've ordered lots and lots of bulbs from them. So yeah, hopefully this all works out well. One last thing here on this kit from deAuto LED. So it comes with a plate that has a double stick tape. That plate basically comes, you can just pop it right off, so there's no need for this in my setup. So it makes it a little thinner. It comes with a little bolt and screw that go with this if you have, I guess, a setup where you would bolt it to something. And then here is that rubber piece that I cut off. So you can, that was kind of up here, and all these were together pinched in that rubber. So I just cut that off. So anyway, that's the deAuto kit, and you don't need these pieces for the Vland setup. All right, guys, here are my Vland Golf R replica or lighting package replica reps headlights. And these were about $450 off of eBay. I used the Vland Global shop on eBay. So they're coming directly from Vland in China. Apparently they do have some warehouses stock here in the States. They had red striped, like GTI ones with the red, but not the chrome ones like a Golf R here in the US. So I had to wait about a month and a half. I will say they gave me excellent communications. I had several questions that were all dealt with like within 24 hours every time. So thumbs up for Vland Global over in China. So the reps look good. I mean, I'm pretty sure these are exactly the same as BMP or anybody else. Keep in mind, these are facelift 7.5 lights. So I have a facelift 7.5 wagon. If you have a Mark 7, you have to buy the ones that are for a Mark 7 because the shape is a little different. I think they're the same facelift style. They just fit the 7. So the quality looks good. I mean, it looks, let me see. There's like some seal that I can see where they've sealed it. I mean, again, it looks fine. I'm probably going to put some kind of clear protective coating on them. We'll see. I mean, they're really not that expensive. If I've only got 3 or 4 years out of them, that'd be amazing. So again, overall, the quality when I unboxed them looks fine. Keep in mind, these are projector, and then the LED is the turn signal. So those are the kind of sweeping turn signals that are amber. This is the primary projector, so that's both low and high beam, either with an LED or HID, and the style is D2H, so that's what you'll buy is a D2H kit, either LED or HID. A halogen's not going to work in this. Maybe they make maybe somebody makes a halogen D2H style or D2 style, but why would you want those? Now this is a halogen. It's an H7 in the kind of flash to pass. So this is really your primary light. You could not even have this. So there's a shutter, so low beam, the shutter's up, the shutter drops when you hit your highs, and you get the full, you don't get a cutoff anymore. But these do turn on. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not really very white, but we'll see. You can change these bulbs over here if you want. All right, so let's turn it around. Okay, so here's the back. You have an adjuster here, here, and over here. And actually this, I believe, is an adjuster as well. High beam, low beam. Let's just open up the high. Crap. They're really tight with the seal. The high's kind of interesting. There's wiring. There's a lot of stuff in here. And I've read that on about the BMPs. Again, I think they're identical. That to get to the high beam bulb is kind of challenging, and I find it interesting that there's a desiccant package in here to reduce moisture. My guess is this is what helps keep moisture out of the housings. Like you'll read online, some of them get condensation in them. The low beam, which is the low / high main beam, comes off, and this piece here, this green piece, comes out. Hold on. Oh shit. There. This is basically the bulb. The bulb sits in here. There's little notches that will match this bulb, and you stick it in and turn it, and then it's locked in. Okay? Okay, the bottom, you have this opening here. So you unscrew these 3 screws, you take this off, and this is where all your gear goes for your bulb. So your kit, so your HID, your ballast, your wires and everything are going to tuck up in here, and then you're going to close it so it's self-contained. So basically what you're going to do, this is an H7 style connector. Plugs into your lights if I can get it out. Man, these things are so hard to work with. Everything is so tight. So this wire, these two plug into here. One's blue and black. You got to keep that straight. The bulb is going to use this retainer and go in, and then you have 2 wires on the bottom of that. And those wires are going to go down through, there's a kind of a channel that's going to slide down to that opening, and then you plug in these in that opening and tuck everything in. It's not hard to do, but it does take a little bit of finagling to get your fingers in here and get everything to route right. But yeah, so that's how these look. We'll see how they look on the car. Okay, so here we see I've routed the wires from the bulb, which plug into this, and the wires that go to the main connector of the light, the one that looked like an H7, the 2 little individual wires, and those go to your ballast, which I'm just going to shove in here and close up. And then you can see here I've got that kind of green retainer. It's kind of spring-loaded, and it holds the bulb in. One thing about those bulbs, though, if you touch them with your fingers, your greasy fingers, you need to use some rubbing alcohol and a lint-free rag. You need to clean them, because if you get oil on those bulbs and fire them up, they get really hot, they might blow up. And as much of a pain in the ass as it is to take these out and do this, you don't want to have to redo your work. But that's really it. So there's just this channel. So I think I showed it wrong when I did it before. Oops, sorry. So the wires come out and everything routes to the left, and it goes down through what effectively is a little channel for the wires and comes out the bottom. That's it. And so when you tuck them all in and screw that back on, you're ready to install. Okay, and just to prove that all that crap does fit, I mean, there's tons of room in here. You know, look, I'm not going to sit there and try to use tape and stick it up in the inside. I think it'll be fine. I was a little concerned it might rattle, but I don't think it will. This just goes over. And there's 3 screws and you're done. Okay, so removing the front bumper, there's probably plenty of videos, but it's really simple. Turn the wheels for each side toward the inside of the fender well, and there'll be 4 screws. 1, 2, and then there's 2 more up here. one straight up and down, one in. So 4, you do that on both sides. Then up here, to take the grill out, there's one screw on each side. Mark 7.5 is different than Mark 7. Mark 7 comes up, this comes out. I actually wear gloves because I've busted up my hands doing it. I grab both sides and it's a very forceful forward pull. You'll think you broke it, but you probably didn't. Underneath, I believe there's 2, 3, 4. I think there's like 5 or 6 screws underneath. Once all that's done, and that's missing, you just literally just pop out these sides like that. And you kind of work your way around on the other side, and you just kind of keep working it till the bumper comes off. It's actually really easy. All right, I just spent the last hour installing the lights. I mean, the fit is pretty good. This one wasn't exactly tight. I had to really play with that adjustment, but look, there's basically 1 bolt, 2 bolts, and 3 bolts. Oh, sorry, and the one hiding, which is, sorry, here. That's why you have to take the bumper off. That's really stupid. You also have to transfer over, where's that? Under here, there's a piece, and not that one, it's this one, that one. There's like 2 kind of captive washer thingies that are on the old lights that you take off and put on these. Plug them in and that is it. I mean, it's pretty simple. They work. The fit, like I said, is decent for what I paid. You also transfer over this little adjuster here, which basically pushes the light out or in. Mine were set all the way, so this was all the way screwed in, so that's how I transferred them over. This side's a little more challenging. You have the washer thing that has to come off, and you have the hood release. I mean, you don't have to do anything. You just have more stuff there to move around. But once you get the bumper off, it's pretty straightforward. While it's off, I'd also just like to point out, you have these. So the way this whole system works, you can see that's the condenser. You actually have ducts. That's what these are. They go all the way up the side of the radiator and try to force the air through the front so it's not off to the sides. So some cars, mine was actually missing the flap door, so I was not getting as efficient a cooling, I suppose, as I could have. So something to check if you pull your bumper. Is everything in good shape? Is your condenser in good shape? Yeah, that's it. So they're in. Okay, so they were pretty far off adjustment, and I figured out the adjustment on these. It's pretty simple. The low beam, the up down on the low beam is this little guy here. It's like it's a 5mm. Just turn it one way or the other until you figure out what's up and down, and you can set it. Now, I'm anal, and I like everything to be right, and so the high beams were off too, and I found that the high beam adjuster is that one, under here. It's an 8mm and just needs an extension. Same thing, it's up, down. Now, I'm going to guess there was a third adjuster that's hidden. It's back, it's hidden under here. You could get to it, I think, with an extender, and I'm fairly confident that's going to be the side-to-side, maybe. I don't think that's probably too far off. I'm going to mess with it tonight, but I mean, that's pretty good. That's the high beams. Okay, and there's the low beams, which are level. I'm kind of too close to the garage. I use the inside of my garage when I open the door to do it, but it's kind of tough because the wall isn't flat, so I'll do it tonight. But I mean, it's at least not egregiously off at this point. But easy to adjust. They're installed. We're good. Here we go. Here are the sequential turn signals. Look pretty good, bright. Here are the kind of L-shaped daytime runners with the low beam projector on. And here are the high beams, which is the projector on the outside, the right side in this video, with the shutter down, so you get the full Monty on the light. And then that inner one, which you should be able to see in this video, is a little kind of, pink brown color because it's got a warmer color temp because it's a halogen bulb. So those do give you some light output, but primarily you're getting your high beam from your primary projector. I mean, they could probably almost not even have that inner one, but maybe I can get some wider bulbs for it, but yeah, that's about as good as it gets. All right, and finally, this is just daytime running light, so the headlights off. They're really bright. Okay, so I've been playing with the aiming. I found a couple good little spots I use to aim them. I think I've got them pretty close. They might be just a touch high. I'll probably drive with them like this and make sure if I'm blinding people, I'm going to know because they're going to be flashing at me. But just based on the way the cutoff line worked on other cars, I don't think I'm doing that. Maybe a touch, but those are the lows. I think these are 5,000 Kelvin. They're a little warmer than the daytime runners, but that's fine. I like the warmer light. But man, these are fantastic. So there's the highs, which are good too. There's the lows, highs, lows. Yeah, these are great. Good strong cutoff as you would expect with a projector, and good color on the bulbs. Definitely 10 out of 10. Okay, I just got back from a test drive. They're absolutely fantastic. So color's good. It's pretty close to what my Passat's factory HIDs are. It's a little whiter than that, but I think I got the level right. I kind of use a wall in the dark and I play with it, and then I literally just walk out in front about 30 feet and I kind of lower myself down until I see both lights shining at the same time. If you lower yourself down and this one hits your eyes first, well, this one's too high, so relative to this one. So I play around with it and I think I got it. Maybe they're a little high overall, but I don't think so. I have to play with it this week. Compared to what I had, which was factory housings on the base model, the facelift housings, which aren't that bad, but they're reflectors. And I had the deAuto LED LED retrofit kit, which has worked for me for probably almost 4 years. They're just more janky. I mean, I'm not saying it's like in a super negative way, but any of the LED kits that kind of have these H7 adapters to work with your factory lights, they work. The light output's great. The cutoff actually isn't that bad. You're not blinding anybody. The problem is the setup of getting it into the housing never, to me, was that great. It came loose a couple times, but for $150, it's a good, certainly cheaper than $625 or whatever I spent on this. But these are the nicer, this is a better setup. So certainly a lot of people have done this. They do this one of their first things. I focused on power and mods like braking and suspension for going to the track. But yeah, I'm glad I did it. I mean, I just drove around for 30 minutes at night and they work killer. So Vland kit, Vland HIDs, or Vland rep lights with the deAuto LED D2H HID kit. 10 out of 10.